Text Prison Story family, salute y'all. It's your boy Tim Snow. We got a special one right here, man. We're honored to have my homie C-Dogg in the house. I've known C probably for about a year and a half now. He's been on the channel before, previous videos we did them live, a couple other things. I've been on his channel, so we're real proud to have you here, C. We appreciate it. And he's also got his own YouTube channel that we want to help promote. So I'm gonna let him tell you about his channel, what it's called, how to find him, and all that. Y'all go subscribe. See, introduce yourself.
Okay, my YouTube channel is called the C-Dogg and Cooper Show podcast. Usually my videos are about Mexico. I go out here and walk the streets and upload videos, things that I find unique, that I might see that people find interesting. I do that. And at the same time, you know what I mean? I go to church and I work with the church. I go to the streets. We go to the streets. We actually go and try to help the homeless. We pray for them and we feed them, and we have well, we basically hold church out in the streets with the homeless. We do that once. We try to do it once a month. You know what I mean? If not, every other month. But that's one of the things that I do enjoy doing. Going out there and helping the homeless and reaching out back to the people that are out there lost.
Man, that's a blessing, man. And everybody knows I try to have people on this channel that, of course, been to prison, have stories and everything, but also living better now, because we try to, set a little example and everything. So it's great to hear it. He's actually told me that he's going to church after this video, y'all. So that's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? So, but see, we're going to get straight into it, man. I know you've been to California prisons, the state prison, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And then you went to federal prison after that. And we want to talk a little bit about the federal prison. When you went down, how long of a sentence did they give you?
When I went down, the first time I went down to the feds, I went down for illegal entry, right? For going back to the country illegally after being deported for aggravated felony. So they gave me 2 years, right? That's what they gave me, 2 years.
Okay, 2 years, and you landed on a USP.
Nah. The first time I went to the feds, yeah, that was the first time. I would. Yeah, I did like, man, 1, 2, 3. I did like 3 or 4 terms in the feds.
Oh shit, hard headed. I didn't realize that. All right, so we'll get to the first 2 year bid then, because there's a lot of people that they do petty crimes and shit like that. White collar stuff. They might get 2 years. What happened to you? Where they send you for the 2 year bid? What was it like?
Well, the first time I went to the feds, I had already been in the States, so doing time wasn't really nothing. But I sat in the during the process it takes. You go to court and all that. So usually, the process of going to court and all that, it takes about like 6 months. By the time you actually get to prison, you only probably end up doing like a year and a half or something at the place that you're gonna be at. So what ended up happening with me, I ended up going to Oklahoma, Reno. You know what I mean? To the reception center right there. Back in the days, they had the old one. The old one, you know what I mean? It was 4 tiers, one back, one side, it was a 4-tier, the old prison setting style, in Oklahoma. So, and the first time I got busted going over there through El Paso, Texas. The first time I ever experienced being in El Paso County Jail as well. Yeah. And they gave me the 2 years. I ended up going to Oklahoma. From Oklahoma, I caught the plane and I landed in San Pedro, right there in Long Beach, over there in San Pedro at the Terminal Island, right there, just by the little bay, right there by the little bay. Yeah.
Down Terminal Island. We had an inmate from down here that went to Terminal Island when he was actually dying. I guess that's why they call it that. That's crazy. Hey, check this out.
No, you know what? It's a medical facility as well. That's why, you know what I mean? It's medical facility. They send a lot of people, like wheelchair people that have problems that are from that area. They send them there,
What was the El Paso County Jail like compared to a county jail in California?
You know what, bro? Well, of course, it's more, you know what I mean? In Texas, there was nothing but raza, and nothing but people, like there wasn't, like in Cali, there's whites and blacks. Like over there in El Paso, there wasn't that many blacks or whites, in the county jail. That's one of the things I did experience there,
I know
Yep.
it. Hey, when I went Fed, they sent me to Coastal Bend Detention Center. I think it's something like 1,000 men, and there was probably 5 black guys and maybe 15 white guys. Everybody else was Hispanic, man. It's crazy. But that's South Texas. El Paso is gonna be like that. You know what I mean? It's you start getting into like the cities and stuff, it'll get interracial. So that bid on Terminal Island, that was pretty laid back. You was pretty cool with that.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was laid back, but the only thing that did happen at that time, back in them days, that's when they ended up doing. I guess they had something going on in the federal system in the courts about the crack law. Remember the crack laws?
Uh-huh.
That's when the riots happened. Yeah, back then it was '95, and the crack law. You know what I mean? They had riots jumping off in our institution in Terminal Island. The inmates started burning stuff and breaking things down. You know? Yeah, they caused the riot right there that
Oh,
year.
you was there when that riot happened? That
Yeah, I
made big
was there when
news.
the riot happened. Yeah, yeah, I was there.
What
Yeah.
were you doing when the riot jumped off? Was you lighting mattresses on fire?
Nah. I mean, look, it didn't happen in our building, right? Like, I was in the old building, and the old building was like back in the days, like bar doors, you know. So we was in the cell, and it was like one side, it was two sides of the building. It was just like three tiers up. But you know, hey, you know what? Back then, bro, it was crazy because back then they used to feed you good. We had HBO, we had Showtime, we had all that, and our vending, we had vending machines in the building. You know, yeah,
Mhm.
back then we
I
had a
know that.
movie theater. Yeah.
Damn, movie theater too.
Yeah. Well, we had the auditorium where you go, and we had the pool tables, and that's where they would move the pool tables, bring down the projector and all that, and boom, you know.
Right. Hey, they're
Yeah.
still in the feds right now. Once a month, they show a unit wide movie. Like everybody's kicking it back. They're making a little spread. You know what I'm saying? Getting ready. Got the headphones on. All TVs will be on. It'll be like a current movie, like something that's out. I don't know. Warden must be buying some bootleg CDs or something, but they play it across that. That shocked me. I couldn't believe it. That was pretty cool though. Like one night out of the month, everybody's kind of getting drunk, chilling and just relaxing, enjoying themselves, So, what did you get the next time? Did you come back on? Was it another reentry? What did they give you when you come back? I know it just
Yeah,
goes
yeah,
up.
with Trip. Well, I got another reentry, right? I came back, and I was already in the States, and I was running around, acting a fool like always, right? And I got busted that day. They actually, we was out there doing crime, but we didn't actually get busted doing nothing. So they just took me in, and they ran a check on my name. They were like, "Oh yeah, let's call these people." Immigration came, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he was taking you to the feds." So now here I'm going to the feds, right? And when I go to the feds, I was in the I had still probation, so I went up in there. They checked me out. They gave me they gave me like 2.5 years. They gave me 30 months. They gave me 30 months, and then they gave me like a year violation for the
Shit,
for the
stacked
pro.
on top.
Yeah, stacked on top. Yep, exactly.
Hell yeah.
Yes,
You did about 3.5 years on that one right there. Then I know.
yeah. Well, you know what I mean. Yeah, I did something on that, right?
Say
Yeah.
if you're
Well, trip out.
now hold on,
Yeah,
listen. If you're there for reentry, what do they
yeah.
do when they release you? Like I know that they'll take us to a bus station or something like that. Are you right to immigration and then they take you to the bus, or how the hell they do it? Flying you down? What
Yeah,
they do?
look, okay. Yeah, look, well, trip out. This is what they do. Look, this is what they do. Okay. When you finish your time, they'll come pick you up in the feds, and then from there they'll take you to a county jail, the closest county jail, like the where they're gonna keep you there, and then they're gonna take you to a little fed spot. It's gonna be like a little federal facility where they're gonna take you see that you got to go see the judge, you know what I mean, the immigration judge. You got to see an immigration judge to get deported, because if you don't go in front of an immigration judge and they deport you, it could be illegal, bro. So they gotta take you to the spot, and then right there they process everybody and they deport you. It could take up to a month, but then as soon as your name is up, they'll put you on a plane, bro, and then you'll land wherever closest border, and they'll just throw you out, bro. Like, bye, get out of here, wherever you at. You know what I mean? You on your own. You know what I'm saying? From that point on, it's like, for example, last time I got deported, bro, I went through Brownsfield over there in Texas,
Uh-huh.
and And over there, bro, them dudes are wild over there. You know, the cartels, they kidnapping people, they extorting people, and all kinds. They doing all kinds of crazy shit. And immigration in Mexico tell you, look, man, you guys need to go to wherever you need to go to. Don't stick around because this is what's happening. And and it's up to you, bro. You know what I mean? How you play your cards out, you know? Because right here in Mexico, your life is hanging on a string, homie. You know?
So you basically better have some family waiting on you or something, or you're fucked or what? I mean, what happens?
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Well,
damn, they just toss you out into this jungle. You got to go rob somebody. What the hell? How are you even supposed to make it?
yeah, well, you know what I mean? And that's where your survival skills kicks in, homie. And then your survival skills kicks in. And it's like, man, it's a trip, man. It's a trip, you know, being somewhere where you didn't grow up at. They look at you different. You know what I mean? Like they try to treat you different, you know. But other than that, bro, it's vicious out here. It's cutthroat, bro. You know what I mean? Like I was talking to my brother, and he was telling me that he was dealing with some people out here, and those good dudes are dead already, bro. Like your life out here expectancy is short, bro. If you're out here running around doing something you're not supposed to do, you know?
No, you know what else? You know what's gonna stick in my mind for the rest of my life? That's what I was talking about earlier. I was gonna tell you is we were on one of your lives one day talking about the murders and something. Somebody said something about LA, and I said, well, shit, Houston had more murders last year. And then we said something about Chicago having more than both of them put together. And you laughed and said, that ain't shit. My little city, right? You know what I mean? I think it was like 600 murders. Yeah, like, man, that ain't nothing. You know what I mean? So for
Yeah.
the worst thing we've seen in the USA ain't shit down there, man. So we know it's dangerous as
Yeah,
hell.
you know, right here, every year they're killing a minimum of 2,000 people. Every year, every year, 2,000 people are dead out here, bro. Straight up, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
I believe I stay
Yeah,
my ass in the house as much as possible.
yeah, exactly. I do the same, bro. I'm not really out there in the streets. I don't got no business out there, you know.
So look, let me get back to the feds though. Your second
Yeah,
time when you got that and they stacked a year on you, where they send you then? Were you back to Terminal Island or did you go to a medium somewhere since you back on a
nah,
violation or what?
they went out. They shot me to Florence, bro. I went to Florence, Colorado.
So Florence. So you're way the
Yeah,
hell
that
away
was
from
another
home this
medium,
time.
huh?
I say you're
Nah,
way
they
the
sent
hell
me to
away from
another
home.
medium,
Yeah,
you know.
Florence medium. That's where
Yeah,
Big JD from that show Prison Break Raw. He was over there. One of my cellies used to be one of the speakers for the car over there in Florence at the medium for the Gallant Knights. I don't know if you remember they got a car called the Gallant Knight car. It's a gang from that little
huh?
area, but that's probably about 20 of them or something. So when you get to Florence, how many people do you see from California there? Like, was you riding with the
Oh,
Pisces? Was you riding with the
mm.
California
Yeah,
car?
I was riding with the Sur, you know, with the Sureños.
Right. That's what
Yeah.
I thought. Yeah, I just wanted you to say it. I know. So when you get out there, how many were out there on the median with you?
We was deep. The homies were deep over there, in Florence, Colorado. We were deep. There was people from El Paso, from Chuco. There was, as a matter of fact, I think there was a few Northerners on the yard too, as well, low key, if I'm not mistaken. You know, like yeah. And that time right there, it was laid back, and but we got into a little riot with the blacks, with the Crips, and we got into a riot over there with the Crips. Uh, that's what happened there. A
Yeah,
riot
what,
popped
the
off.
backyard or the chow hall or what?
On the yard. Okay, you know how in the middle of the yard, bro, like straight in the middle, like when the chow hall and everything's at, right there. Yeah, right there. It was a big old rumble, bro. I just remember the homies talking about, it was one of our people, and I was like, well, let's go do this, man. And yeah, we got into a big old melee. People got hurt and stabbed, whatever. And I ended up going to the shoe. I ended up doing like probably like 6, 7 months in the shoe or something like that. And since I didn't have a lot of time, I had already probably been there for a minute. And that term right there, I was in the shoe for a couple of like 8, 9 months. And then from there, they sent me back to the yard, but I had to sign some paperwork saying that if something happened to me, they weren't responsible for nothing that would happen to me. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
one of
right.
them deals.
Man, when I got into it, them fools jumped me and Beaumont at the medium, man. I was trying to get back to the yard. They wouldn't even do that. They kept saying my homies were telling the lieutenant and them, man, let him out. He's cool. Everything's fine. They wouldn't even let me sign a damn paper. They were worried about retaliation or some. I don't know. It was trash. I wanted to come back bad, man, but I ended up doing better anyway, honestly. But So that's crazy though. That's what I tell a lot of people though. See, look, you're there on a short bid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not even there as a violent offender on these right here. None of that. And get into a ride in the middle of the rec yard where people are pulling out knives and trying to kill people and shit. Isn't that crazy? You never know. You can lose your life one day in that first day.
You know what the crazy part is that you know what like you say, one day everything's all good and the next day your life is on the line, and a riot jumps off, and you're there for a couple months, but it's crazy because you're over there fighting behind somebody else's fight. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even your fight. It's somebody, one of your homeboys, him, doing something that ain't right. So think about it, right? Are you willing to put your life on the line for somebody else, right?
They expect you to.
Behind
That's the
somebody's
crazy
stupidity
part.
or whatever, right?
It you don't want to, but say if you don't, then guess what? It's gonna be you next, and you know it. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. Like that.
Yeah,
That
you got to follow
he
suit.
said, look, every episode, this is not the life you want. Pay attention to what he's telling y'all right here. You might go in there and somebody else do something, and now your life is on the line fighting for him. You just met this man, or you might not even like the dude. You know what I mean? But y'all just in the same clique. So I don't know. So look, when you got out of that one, that was probably, I guess you said about 40 months, probably 36 months, something like that. Go back to the feds
Hey,
again, I'm gonna assume. So
hey,
when
hey,
you
I
go,
ended up the next term. I ended up in Victorville. I ended up in Victorville too, right? I was in Victorville. It was a nice little yard, but it was Victorville one. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have the USP built yet. You know what I mean? They while we were there, they built that, and then they started sending people over there to the USP. But and that one right there, it was a riot jumped off in that one too. You know what I mean? A riot with the Norteños, as a matter of fact. Yeah, a
I
riot.
was just gonna ask you. I figured Victorville, that's Southern California, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, but there was Norteños right there on the yard. There was Northerners right there on the yard. Yep.
Then here goes my next question. I was gonna ask you, like, if y'all are on the same yards in the Fed, is it the same problem as it is like in the state?
Nah, it depends, bro. It depends on who's calling the shots. You know what I mean? Where's the information coming from? Where, you know what I mean? Who's like exactly who's calling the shots, and who's telling them how to drive the car or whatever, bro. You know what I mean? Like, who's the spokesman? You know,
Right. I
it
know.
all
Yeah,
falls on him.
I was wondering if they go like to a East Coast, say some North Siders and some South Siders at the East Coast USP or something like that. Will they put that down and just ride together for California, or will they still be separate no
Nah,
matter what?
look, look. When I went to the USP, that's when it was like the Norteño and the South and all that. Everything was divided now. Like, there was no unity, or you know what I mean. They're on their line and we're on our line, and that's where it was different in the USP. You know what I'm saying? That's where all that changed. That's where everybody packing the knife, holding the knife in their pocket, and you know what I'm saying. People are getting killed, and that's where it's at, really, homie. In the USPs, if you really talk about and you want to know about prison, homie, yeah, the USPs is where it's rocking. You figure everybody got life, they ain't getting out. You know what I mean? So your life is really on a string on that one. But yeah,
Everybody competing to bring something in and sell it to the same people and trying to, yeah, man, it's rough. What USP did they send you to when you came back?
the last time I went back, they sent me to. I was in West Virginia.
West Virginia. Let me tell people what a USP is if they don't know that. It stands for United States Penitentiary, but it's the feds have different levels. They have the prison camp, which is almost no security, the low, the medium, and then the USP. The USP is basically the high maximum security, the big tall walls around it. And like he said, a lot of people, most people not going home. A lot of murders, killings, gangs, things like that. And it's a trip. See, when you first get off the bus and you're still in your bus clothes and you're still carrying that fresh look and they can tell you're new in there, how did they come at you the first like 10, 15 minutes in that USP? Did they ask? I know they asked you
Now,
where you
what trip out on this, the crazy part was when I got to the look. Okay, when they sent me to the USP, bro, I had a look. I got an escape on my record, and I got an attempt escape on my record. Okay, on one of my federal bids, when I went back to the feds, right, and I was in the county jail, I caught an attempted escape, right, and they stacked that on the federal time, boom, right.
from?
So that's when I ended up over there in Hazleton, over there in West Virginia. in the USP. Okay, so when I got to the USP, they sent me to the shoe. They didn't shoot me to the line. They said something about my paperwork wasn't there. They was running games on me and some other bullcrap. So they sent me to the shoe, homie. And when they sent me to the shoe, that's when, I landed with the homies. And then from there, they found my paperwork and sent me to the yard. But when I got there, homie, it was cool. The homies are right there. Like, what's up, homie? Who you run with? And, as a matter of fact, I was with Panther. Panther, the one that came out on Gangland, the one that they did that little thing about he killed his homegirl pals because she was an informant.
I ain't seen it. I didn't
Oh,
see it.
you never seen it? Yeah,
No,
yeah. That was my roommate. You know what I mean? That was my roommate right there in West Virginia in Hazleton. Yeah.
man, Hazleton got a terrible reputation, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Allenwood, Hazleton, Beaumont, pretty much are the ones that you hear everything have Big Sandy. You know what I mean? That's where
Big
everything.
Sandy, yeah, Big Sandy's going off. Lee County. It's just, you know what? All the prisons, like I said, like all the USPs, you figure they're all ruthless, homies, because you're in the USP environment. It just matters what time it is of the year. People just act different every time. Like
So when you was in
the
the
the year, the
USP,
way.
you see any Texas cats like some Texas Syndicate or Texas Mexican Mafia, anything like that?
Yeah, you know what? Right there right there was some dudes from the Mexican mafia. Yep, they were.
From Texas.
Yeah, from the Texas. Yeah, they were just doing their own little bit, and it, wa- you know, they were doing their little bit, and they were cool. There was some Latin King folks were there, and the DCs, the DC was there.
Hmm. They're everywhere.
Yeah, they were there. We were right there chilling, but yeah, right there, it was different because it's like I said, everybody carrying a knife is more respect. You get out of line, you get checked, you get beat up or get stabbed
But
up.
here's the question I've been wondering for a while too: is how did we hear all the time about the California prison politics and how everything
Yeah.
is like that, and the USP has it amazing too. What was the difference? Was it about the same? Were they running California style, or was it different? Or
Man, you know what? I'm gonna put it to you like this, bro. To be honest with you, I was coming from the state when I went back to the feds, homie. My last term, I went to the state, and from the state I went back to the feds. The state's a whole different animal, man. It's just you can't compare it to the feds. No way. It's just the difference is that like over there in the USPs is more open. Everybody got a knife. You know what I'm saying? There's the politics ain't 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 up to they trust me where I was they weren't out, you know what I mean. I guess it just depends on the person that's there running the show, right? But that's my opinion because I've been to both places. I know, like of course when I was in the state I wasn't in the level 4, I was in the level 3 though. I was still up under the gun, homie, with killers.
right, right. You said it right there. What shocked me about the feds was the more open. Say when I walked in the wing for the first time, it was about 15 minutes before rec time, or maybe 10 minutes before rec time. There was 7 tattoo guns going off. It smelled like weed in the air. You know what I'm saying? People jamming loud music out their speakers and I'm like, damn, this cop don't care, and the cop didn't care about none of that shit. Didn't give a damn. He smelled it just like I did. He heard the tattoo guns. As long as you wasn't killing each other in there, they didn't care what you did. And our state, the rules in Texas are so harsh. You'll go to lockdown just for letting your homie have one soup. Like it's illegal to give a person a soup here and shit like that. So I couldn't believe it. Like traffic and trading, you can run a damn gambling shack in the feds. They know it and don't care. You know what I mean? So it was a shock to me.
You know what? That when I would, you know what? When I was in the feds, that's what I used to like about the feds. The feds, you know what? There was more money to make. Like me personally, I would make pruno, I'll make wine, sell wine. You know what I mean? Do my little thing. The COs, they weren't really, as long as you didn't front them up, they wouldn't disrespect you, bro. Like, don't disrespect me. I'm not going to disrespect you. They had respect for us, bro. It was cool. It was a cool environment, I think.
Oh yeah, it was. That's what I'm saying. You could barely do some time in a convict time and spread your wings. And like you said, some people make massive money, so it might take you a while to figure it out. But once you get it down, like you had your little hustle, whatever you do. I had a little commissary store, so I was stacking too. You know what I mean, man? You can get drunk in there or do whatever you want every single day. Nobody bother you. get too drunk, the homies tell you go in your cell, lay down. You know what I mean? That's just all it was, man. It was pretty cool. What do you think was the craziest thing you ever seen in the feds? Just some wild, violent shit or something.
Well, like the shit that it was more in the shoe, you know, the people that were like more rowdy, like they didn't want to cuff up and come out the cell. The goons had to come get them and extract them. You know, that's where it gets wild. You know.
That's crazy. I never once in my life thought about doing that. You know you're gonna lose when they run in on you, spray you with gas and everything else. Some guys losing their damn mind.
Hey,
The shoe and boat line at the medium, it was rowdy back there. See, man, they would kick on the walls all night, yell, scream. There wasn't no discipline. They would just buck wild. It was miserable. Actually, I couldn't stand that. It was like being around a bunch of mental patients. Wasn't nothing like TV.
yeah, that's where all the. You know what? I remember one time when we were when I was in the shoe, I was in Canaan, right? In Canaan, and that shoe went off. The black guys on the two that 9/11, they went off, bro. They were going off in there. The whole spot when it was blown, man. There was so much. They had sprayed so many people, man. We were getting gassed, and we didn't have nothing to do with it. You know, it was crazy in there too. You know.
Yeah, that's like the very first shoe cell they ever put me in. The shower didn't work and the toilet had no water. I was in a dry cell. I was miserable, dog. I was beating on it. I faked the damn seizure and got up out of there. It was crazy, man. You had to do what you got to do. See, listen, man. Tell them about your channel and what you've been having going on though, because you've been, I first met you. You was just guest starring on I think what was it, Convict Perspective or something like that. And every time you come on the channel, their live would just explode, just blow up. You know what I mean? And everybody was loving C-Dogg. We're really talking about some serious shit, but in all reality, man, you have a personality that attracts people. I told you earlier, you're always making everybody laugh. You know what I mean? In a good mood, everything. So tell them what you got going on now. Like you said something about feeding the homeless, doing some other shit, stuff like that. But you also told me you have more plans for your YouTube channel. That's what I want you to talk about is a YouTube. What you got going? What's your plan?
You know what? As a YouTuber, the plans that I have, bro. To be honest with you, I'm gonna actually go out there to the community and reach out to the people that, you know what I mean, that can't do things for themselves. You know what I'm saying? To help them. You know, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go out there and interact with the elders in the community, in my community where I live at. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna upload the videos. I'm gonna upload what I do. And that's what I'm gonna bring to the table, man. Because I think people need to, it's like if you have a neighbor, go check up on your neighbor. You don't know, he might need something. He might not be able to come out, man. Help your neighbor. You know, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna help the people, man. That's what I'm gonna do in my channel. You know.
So this is what the hell I've been wondering too. Who is Cooper? Is that your dog? Who the hell is Cooper?
It's my little dog right here. Yeah, Cooper's my sidekick. You know, so I figure, put him in the C-Dogg and Cooper Show podcast. You know, that's my YouTube channel. You know, so get at me. It'd be a blessing. You guys could reach out and subscribe to my channel, familia. And check me out. I got new things and better things coming. I'm gonna be in a better place. I'll be able to ease my mind. Because over here in Mexico, you guys already know. Over here, man, is vicious.
You've had some real good lives. You know what? I've enjoyed watching some of your lives. So crazy. There was that one woman that was coming on. What was her name? Do you know what I'm talking about? I can't remember. She would speak like,
oh yeah, Sinaloa.
Yeah, I think so. She'd speak like Spanish and English. It was crazy watching her, man. All those lives were off the chain. Yeah, you've done some fire stuff.
We gonna do it.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna. Like I said, once I get over there to where I'm going, yeah, like I said, I'm gonna have a whole different get down, homies. Everybody's gonna be like, "Damn, fool, where you at? Let me come through. Let me come through."
You already know. You know how it goes. C-Dogg, man, I appreciate you coming through. Y'all make sure, listen, his show is called the C-Dogg and Cooper Podcast. Type that in on YouTube. It's a YouTube show. He, like I say, he's been guest starring on people's lives so long and doing things. He's really got a following. I know a lot of y'all that are watching this right now know who the man is. He's been on this channel before too. So we're glad to see him spread his wings and start doing his own thing. And shit, hopefully he can make some bucks. You know what I mean? Support the channel, y'all. Texas Prison Stories. Pay attention to what C said. The main thing I want you to take from this show tonight is that he was on that little small, tiny bid and was on the rec yard with people trying to kill him. You understand? It can be you too. Don't think that you're the tough guy or you're gonna get away because you got a little tool. None of that shit. You might be the guy on the rec yard that just got there and have no idea what the hell's even going on. You know what I mean? But now you gotta participate. So I appreciate you coming through, brother. Have a great day, man. Enjoy yourself at church, and we'll catch y'all later. Tim Snow, C-Dogg, and Cooper podcast. Y'all go subscribe. We'll catch y'all later, man. Appreciate you, dog.
God bless. God bless. Thank you.